All right, we are ready for the most important part, our dough for our fry bread that we're gonna be eating. It is the yummiest ever, okay? So the dough has been rising. We made it earlier so that we could get it prepped for our fry bread. I just kind of stick my fingers in and kind of start pulling it out from the side, and then I pinch off a piece of the dough, pull it out, and then you're gonna take it and you're gonna put a little bit of flour, okay? You wanna be able to roll these out. We have hot oil over here and it's ready for our fry bread. You wanna get it, it's a little sticky right at the moment, but once you get it on the floured surface, and you can just dump this right out on your counter, okay? Don't be afraid to do that. And take and roll this out. Get those air bubbles out. Air bubbles, you'll hear them. Hopefully, maybe you heard that one, but you wanna get those out of there because otherwise then you get a hole in your little fry bread. But roll this out somewhat thin because otherwise it doesn't cook up before it gets too brown. So you don't want them super thick, but you also don't want them too thin, okay? So roll it out, and then I kind of squish it out with my hands, and you can do a pizza cutter, okay? You can make big ones, you can make little ones, you can make them like a pie shape, and then what you're gonna do, once they come off like this, a little bit thick, you can put them in there. I kind of go like this, and you see the bubbles coming up in your oil. These are ready to go in. My oil will get a little bit hotter than this, and then that is the temp that you want it at. It's now cooking, and you can see them puffing up. And I like to make smaller ones as well because guess what you put on these? Honey butter. The best ever. And it is the best dessert. And that's it. You just kind of put them in there. Keep an eye on them with your tongs. You don't want them to get too brown. And you can make these bigger, like maybe this size, or you can even make it bigger. Some people like giant ones, okay? I like the little ones, but you can make them whatever size you would like. This one is just slightly brown. So this oil is probably just a little bit cooler than what I would usually put them in. So just kind of test your oil, and the way you test it is to just cut off a little piece of dough, throw it in there, and see how fast it puffs up and how quick it browns. And that will tell you if it's truly where it needs to be. But look at how these are puffing up. This dough is amazing. And this tastes so good once you start. We're going to show you later how we put these together, how they get assembled. And look at that. You've got this one that's really puffing up. And these right here, these little ones that I showed you, look at that little puff ball. I like to poke a tiny little hole, and that's where I put my honey butter in. Oh, it is the best bite ever. So once we get these all cooked, we're going to come back and I'm going to show you how to assemble them. All right, we have finished frying our fry bread. Okay, I like to save this little triangle one for dessert, but I'm going to show you how I like to build my fry bread. So I start with a little bit of refried beans. Love, love, love it. You can cook fresh pintos if you want and mash them with a little bit of lard, or as we call shortening, in it, and make your own, or you can absolutely open a can. My favorite is Rosarita refried beans. Always has been. I grew up on them, love them. Then we take a little bit of our hamburger mixture that has, guess what, our Bueno chopped green chili in it. You bet. We always got to have that in because it has the best flavor, you guys. Bueno chopped green chili in the frozen food section of your grocery store. Then, once I get that part, you get all the hot stuff on. Then I like to stack the cheese and then give it a little pat. Get a little love pat so that you can keep all that goodness of cheese in there.
So then I go over here and I grab me a big spoon of pico. And it has your tomatoes, your onions, your jalapenos, a squirt of lime if you like lime in it. Stack it on top of that. Guess what? Guacamole. Which also has tomatoes, onions, jalapeno. Take that, stuff it up there on top, and then I like to sprinkle just a little bit more cheese. Does that look like the yummiest fry bread ever? I hope you guys make these. They are incredible. Do it on a weekend, Friday night, whatever. But don't forget, you got dessert coming. So I like to take a little pinch out of the center.
And then you can eat it. So good.
It's nice and hot. And over here, guess what? Honey butter. Take and drizzle it right into that hole. And guess what? This bread is still warm and gooey, and all of that honey butter,
it is melting all over the inside of this fry bread. It is so delicious.
I wish that
You could taste it
it right now.
because
It's so good. But take the time to make it. Enjoy it. I hope you have loved this segment of the fry bread. And go share it. And remember, every day is not going to be a good day, but there's good in every day. So make sure you share.
fry bread with all the guac and the meat and the chili.
And most important, share dessert. Okay?
Make it a good day.